Right. All praise, honor, and glory be to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. Wahak Wadash Wakah. Double honors to the apostles and elders over at the great millstone who were well of Yasha Allah being Hebrew for Israel, who I actually believe those men to be the true elders of Yasha Allah, by the way, if I didn't say, by the Spirit. To you men out teaching this truth across the four corners of the earth, where we have been scattered to you I say peace and blessings as well. Shalom Rabarakium Laha Aman Bakiyar, which is to say peace and blessings to the faithful elect. All right. To you awakening of the Israelite nation in these times, throughout the chaos, due to the chaos, and due to fear of the Lord, diligently and hastily, I say peace and blessings as well. And the so-called Israelite, the Israelite nation consists of the so-called blacks, aka Negroes, and so-called Native American Indians, and so-called Latinos, who are all the same people, and have been lied to. Without any further ado, I'm your brother Shariat Nawasah Shaman, and as you can see, no man is invincible, man. You know, for those of you that's familiar with the rapper FBG Duck, he's dead now. Back in the spirit world like he was never here. You know? So it says FBG Duck dead. Rapper reportedly dies after being shot in Chicago. Okay, anybody familiar with him, they know that you should know he's a Chicago rapper. You know, he was notorious, and when you're notorious, you're famous for bad things, man. You know, beefing with your brother. You know, more Israelites, more lost, cursed, so-called blacks, Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. You know, he became famous for that. And it's the same thing that's gotten him killed now. You know, and actually it was the Lord that killed him, who people call God, the Lord, you know, the Heavenly Father, who has a name. And his name, this entire time, has been Yahweh. And he has a son. His son's name is Yahweh Shah. You know, and they not no joke, man. You know, this was to take this as a warning, you know, to you, you know, that probably just bumped into this video. You know, just quick watch and warn. Take this as a warning. You know, you so-called, you young so-called blacks, aka Negroes, and Latinos, so-called Native American Indians as well. Even older, you know, because you got a lot of older, you know, we call you Jakes, because that's who you're from. You're actually Jacob. That, you know, this dude, J. Cole, he had a line, he said a lot of niggas getting older, but they never grow up. You know, dudes in their 40s, 50s, hell, 60s, 70s, you know, people, you know, you Israelites, men and women, still trying to kindle the fire of the young people, the wood they put out, different trends. You want to hop on a bandwagon, you know, you old DJs. Take this as a heathen warning, because you're being a heathen if you don't come back into find out who you truly are, right? So it says FBG Duck is dead. It says, according to various sources, the rapper, whose real name is Called to D Weekly, reportedly passed away after he was shot in Chicago, Illinois on Tuesday. Shortly after the incident, several people took to social media to ask for prayers and well wishes for Duck. His death was reported on Twitter a short while later. Duck was 26 years old. Now, this is how we know that all those people who took to Twitter, they know nothing about the Bible, they know nothing about the Heavenly Father, you know, who people call God. Right? Because he says right here, Um, Jeremiah 11 and 11. Therefore, thus saith the Lord, thus saith Yahweh, behold, I will bring evil upon them. So you didn't even know the Lord operated like that, but He does. It says, and it's on a higher level than most of you can perceive. You know, with a realize, with a thought, it says, which they shall not be able to escape, because no man is invisible. And though they shall cry unto me, I will not hearken unto them. You know, because even though we have an elder, you know, who, you know, he put out a lesson about how this Israelite woman, she was able to pray for mercy, even though she wasn't in the truth. She didn't truly know the truth, but she had enough understanding to know that the power that people call God exists. The man that people call God exists. You know, she was saved. She was in a 9/11. She was actually one of the survivors that escaped the 9/11 destruction. You know, and there's more destruction coming to America than you so-called blacks if you don't realize the same thing. You know, but you have to worship the Lord in truth. So don't think you can, that's a leeway for you to not, you can serve the Lord how you want to. No, because it tell you that in the scriptures. But anyway, so this should be an eye-opener. So it says, I will bring evil upon them, which they shall not be able to escape, and though they shall cry unto me, I will not hearken unto them. See, because you're not crying in truth. So he really used her as an example to prove his existence, because she had an account of an angel coming to her in that as well. Now it says, but that's just for the believers. There's no way you're making out of this praying to Caesar Borgia. There's no way you making it out of this praying to Jesus Christ, you know, and rejecting truth. People, you run into someone. You run into someone who tells you the truth of your own people, and they tell you, yo, we the Israelites. Yo, God, he not no so-called white man. He that all that counts. Everything counts for truth's sake. They tell you that's in the Bible, that's in the scriptures. They tell you that all those that worship the Lord must worship Him in spirit and in truth. And that's in the New Testament. And you reject it. You will be, now from that point on, you will be a fool if you think you're gonna survive and be saved by the power that you know exists. Because at that point you want to be ignorant. You don't want to actually come into His light. Okay? She just had a zeal, not according to knowledge, that the Father was going to use for this lesson right now, and for this time right now. So when you cry unto the Lord, not in truth, don't be surprised why He don't hear you, because you haven't found out the truth. You know, you don't know His name. You're not going to answer to somebody, respect someone calling you out of your name and etc. You got to truly know. And it's not Yahweh. It's not Jehovah. It's not Yahuwah. It's not Yehoshua. It's not Ahia. It's not Jehovah. It's not God. It's not any of these things. His name is one name. And His Son's name is one name. And there are not any of those names I just mentioned. Yeshua, none of those names. Jesus, no. Iesus, nothing. Isis, nothing. It's none of those names. They have one name, so you have to do your job now to go find out. You're going to end up like FBG Duck. Now it says, then shall the cities of Judah, who consists of the so-called blacks, aka Negroes, you're Judah, right? Duck was Judah, and he's Judah. And inhabitants of Jerusalem go and cry unto the gods unto whom they offer incense, but they shall not save them at all in the time of their trouble. So you could liken the incense into what you do is, you know, roll up, you smoke, it has a smell, and you light it to your favorite song, to your favorite album. You know what I'm saying? That's the same exact concept as this. You know, you burn that incense, that cannabis, to that song, to that God, that idol of yours, to receive some type of uh, relief. That's like praying unto a God. And he said in that time, you're just not gonna be able to save you in the time you're in trouble, man. So Duck, he was probably doing the same thing, because he got caught downtown. The Lord caught up with him. That was an angel, man, a left-hand angel, a demon. You see it as someone from your neighborhood, somebody you went to. No, that was an angel, man, a left-hand angel that orchestrated that. You know, it says, "For according to the number of thy cities were thy gods, O Judah." So just as many cities as we lived in, that's how many we had a god for. That's how many gods we have. That's the equivalent of gods we have, and that's plenty. Judah is everywhere. It says, and Israel is a country, which is where we're from. And according to the number of the streets of Jerusalem have ye set up altars to that shameful thing, even altars to burn incense unto Baal. Right? So you got your little post ups on the corners in the hoods, where y'all light up, pour a fifth, a pint and all this other crap, into these gods, man. These spirits. You get into these spirits and you don't even realize it. It says, "Therefore, pray not thou for this people, neither lift up a cry or prayer for them. For I will not hear them in the time that they cry unto me for their trouble." But anyway, now with that being said, I'm gonna go back to the article and I'm gonna get my scriptures and other scriptures and close out. So, popular rapper FBG Duck has just been pronounced dead after being shot in the Gold Coast an hour ago, and it's crazy because I got this alert and it didn't have the people of who it were, on it. It was somewhere downtown. I don't even know what the Gold Coast is by name, possibly. But it says prayers up for his family. Bring justice to them after this senseless act. It's not senseless. Former mayoral candidate Jamal Green tweeted. So that's that, man. That's pretty much it. FBG Duck pronounced dead at the hospital after being shot in downtown Chicago. So it's nowhere you can go to escape the Lord, because we tend to think, okay, downtown scene, he had a little bit of money, This the scene right here. See if it plays. You can just look this article up yourself, and it's cameras everywhere, because the Lord wants people to, understand. He wants his people to realize, man, he exists. So with that being said, I'm gonna get this scripture right here. Right? This is Ecclesiastes 8 and 7. Because a lot of you young people, you probably follow FBG Duck and you think he's untouchable the way he lived, and how he made his come up. He used to talk about how he was rich. He ain't worried about nothing. He survived getting stabbed in the stomach, This is Ecclesiastes 8 and 7. It says, verse 6, I'm going to start at. It says, "Because to every purpose there is time and judgment. Therefore the misery of man is great upon him." Okay, now we're gonna do some educational real quick. It says, "Because to every purpose." When you go into this word purpose, it's talking about a fair. It's talking about different things you may get into your time, and a purpose being a time when you was an event of you cracking cards, a chronological timeline of you cracking cards, you know what I'm saying, or hidden licks, or whatever you want to call it, right? And I'm going to prove it real quick. So when you look up this word purpose, but to every purpose, right? Because these words is actually originally in Hebrew. Who we are, we're the Hebrews, man. This is the language we used to speak. It says delight, pleasure. So a certain delight. You know, we winning. It says the good pleasure, that in which one takes delight. I'm a rapper. You know what I'm saying? I'm untouchable. Everybody love me here. These dudes scared of me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm on top, you know? You know, I got away. I got the bag. I did that to do to fold them. I hit buddy them. No, that's all that's dead. You know, that's likened unto a pleasure or delight for most of you, right? It says desire, concrete, a valuable thing, a matter, something in mind. The things desired. Man, we used to hit the mall, tear the mall down, hit the Ferragamo store, and all this other nonsense, man. Now, I'm gonna go a little bit deeper just so you can see it. Lord willing, I don't make this long. I'm gonna get the next word, and finish my scriptures out, and that'll be it. Lord willing. Let's see. So you can see how clear the Lord is actually being. All right. And there goes Satan. Let's go back. It says, Salakia. Try it one more time. Kapats. That's what it is. Kapats. Alright. Then I'll explain. If I can get it pulled up. But anyway, okay, here we go. Alright. So a certain delight. So to every purpose, a certain lifestyle. So you rapping about taking out the ops and all this other stuff. Well, guess what? It's a time and a judgment on that. But to every purpose, there is time and judgment. So when you go into the word time, the word is aita, right? Aita or ait. Now, this should put some pepper in your step after this. When you look into that word aita, it says time, experiences, fortunes, occurrence, occasion, season. So it's just for a certain season. Do seasons stay around forever? No. Out of season. You know what I'm saying? Is so it goes away. So that's a duration. But let's go even further and show you that. It says a fit time, especially a fit or proper time, an opportunity. So in the midst of your purpose, your delight, your pleasure, your lifestyle, right? That could be a purpose. It's a time on it. It's an aita on it. It's a proper time. It's an opportunity. Because that lifestyle could be wicked. That lifestyle he was living was wicked. So he had, according to this, a time on that pleasure of his. It was a time on it, man. It was also was an opportunity for him to keep doing it, but also change his ways. It says, certain time as having a limit opposed to eternity. See that? It says, to everything there is a time, it lasts but for a time. Nothing is perpetual. So when you go even further, it says a happy time and unhappy time, calamity. Time, both happy and fatal. So there was a time, because now that we done got that, now let's get the last word, and then I can go ahead and make this clear by the Spirit, Lord willing. Mashapat, for judgment. When you go into the word judgment, it's a penalty. It's an act of deciding a case. Your case is, it's like when you catch a case for doing something. Guess what? I get that concept from God. You know what I'm saying? So he called a case for the pleasure, the purpose, which is his pleasure, aka probably his lifestyle, which only had a set time on it that wasn't eternal. It was a season. And in that, he had an opportunity to do that. And he also had an opportunity to start it, do it a little bit, and stop before the time ran out. Because once the time runs out, for how long that is allowed, you get this, you get judgment. It says, act of deciding a case. It's a procedure, litigation. Let me just be more simple, right? It says proper, fitting, measure, plan. Okay, let's keep going a little bit, right? So it says, including divine law, individual, collective, including the act, the place, the suit, the crime, and the penalty. You see? So that's what judgment goes into. It's what's decided for the matter being your life or a certain thing you did in your life. So you can get judgment for your overall life, which had a time, it had an aita on it, something that wasn't eternal. You know what I'm saying? It was an opportunity for you to do things, right or wrong things, right and wrong things, right things or just wrong things, you know? So you could receive judgment for that at that point. You eventually receive judgment for it, right? So just keeping it simple, the life he was living, rapping about taking dudes out and all this other stuff and still living in Chicago and, you know, but still being FBG Duck and smoking on this guy's partner and that guy's partner, it was a time for that. And for him doing all those things, there was a judgment. And when you go into the word judgment, it says right here, determination, sentence. What's the sentence for all of that? What's the sentence for this little thing you was doing just for a set period of time that goes on for a set period of time? What's gonna be the judgment for that? FBG dead. He's dead now. You know. So I ain't gonna go too deep. It says Ecclesiastes 8:6. But to every purpose there is time and judgment. Therefore the misery of man is great upon him, for he knoweth not that which shall be. He don't you when you just living it, you don't know what how it ends. You don't know when it ends. I'm just in it for the ride, baby. It say, for who can tell him when it shall be? We can't tell you that when judgment comes, but I can tell you that's how it works because we just read it. That's the setup. That's the system of all this, and for matters. There is no man that hath power over the spirit to retain the spirit. Neither hath he power in the day of death. And there is no discharge in that war. Neither shall wickedness deliver those that are given to it. So once it's time for you to go, your wickedness is what was keeping you alive. Man, we had to take Buddy out because he was on my ass out here. You know what I'm saying? Blah blah blah. Well, when that was your purpose, right? You was able to live like that. You got pleasure out of that, you know, being able to deliver and be on top. It was a time set on that. It was just a time ticking. It was like a sand clock. Once that sand ran out, the judgment, the penalty, the sentence of what's fit for that. For everything, it's like that for everything everybody do. Your overall matter or just your in general matter. Overall purposes, which will be your life, or just purposes inside your life. You get judged for everything, man. You know? None of those things is able to deliver him. That same purpose was not able to deliver him. Neither shall wickedness deliver those that are given to it. You know? There is no man that have power over the spirit to retain the spirit. Once the Lord ready for you to get that ghost up in whatever fashion, you giving it up, man. Neither have he power in the day of death. There's nothing you can do. The day of death is that's your judgment. That's your aita being out. Your time, that's it. The time on your matter. The time on your purpose. You know what I'm saying? Being your life or just a thing you was doing within it. How everything comes to an end, including you. You know what I'm saying? So things in your life come to an end. They have a start, a duration, and a finish. You know what I'm saying? Just like your overall life. And at the end of that thing in your life that had a start, a duration, and a finish, is a judgment for it, how it's going, what you get out of it. You know, you may learn something from it. It may hurt you. You know what I'm saying? It may set up another thing. That's how it works. You know, and then your life, the one that had a start, a duration, and a finish, you get a judgment for that. You know what I'm saying? What you did in it. So that's that day of death. Because basically everything dies. Certain things you do for a certain time, and your ass. You know what I'm saying? And there was no discharge in that war. When you look up that word discharge, it just means to fight back. You can't, you know, when people be like, man, he fighting, he holding on. Ain't no discharge. You know what I'm saying? Disputation, discharge, it says a mission, abstractly, release, unfavorable, an army, sending, a host, sending away. Basically, it's a host is like a see, from captivity or warfare. You're not fighting for your life. You see that? You don't fight for your life. And once it's time for you to go, it may look like, and that's how people, you know, understand it, simps. No man, it says there is no discharge in that war. You see that? Because it's a war between your body dying and your spirit getting ready to come out of it. That's a struggle. That's why it's known as the sting of death. You know what I'm saying? But it's no discharge. There's no battling. It's not an arm wrestle. Once that spirit is finna is written to be given up, that's it, man. No one fights for their life, man. You was never fighting. If you don't go on to die, then he wasn't fighting. He wasn't a fight. It just wasn't his time to go. That's how it works. You know? Now it says, just to end this, it says, Ecclesiastes 5 and 8, whoso keepeth the commandment shall feel no evil thing. It says, and a wise man's heart discerneth both time and judgment. So you think about this, man. So when you live in a certain way, you got this certain event you getting into, you knowing this now, you should be like, man, I know it's a set time on it, and I know this may be my pleasure, this thing, this what's they call it, like a certain endeavor I'm in right now, a venture. You know what I'm saying? I know it's a duration on it, and so I know it's an ending on it. Now with knowing this, and I know it's a judgment, it's gonna be a sentence, you know, put on it from it. That may help me, hurt me, based off what it was, what I was doing with it, how I was in it. You know, it's just like when you work out for 6 months. And yeah, that was your plan to stop, so-called your plan. It was a 6 months workout regimen, and at the end, you're supposed to be at this certain point. So if you don't have and the results will be the judgment. You know, so you only gonna get awarded what's fit for how you were in it. So if you went hard, expect to be swole. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like your life. If you went soft, expect nothing. You know, if you you supposed to be working out. If you ate junk food and crap throughout that, you know, duration, expect to be fat, have stretch marks, and probably expect some diseases. You know what I'm saying? Don't be surprised if you get that. That's how it works, man. If you can understand, if you can receive it. So it's the same thing when you want to be a drill rapper, a trap rapper, a card cracker, a follower, you know what I'm saying, for 2 weeks, you know, The day you start to do that, know it's a set time on when that ends, and it's gonna be a judgment for it, for you doing it and how you were in it. Everybody don't make it out for certain reasons. Certain men do for certain reasons, based on how they were in it. So that man gone, and there's no man that's invincible, man. No man has power to retain the spirit, man. You know? So, whoso keepeth the commandment shall feel no evil thing. And they wise, so all you gotta do is turn back to this, man. You ain't gonna feel no evil thing, man. It says, in a wise man's heart, meaning your mind, discern it. You break down and you consider both time and judgment. It's a time ticking, man. There's a time ticking in your life, and you don't know when it is, man. You don't know. So that dude gone, you know. He's finished now. He not coming back. Ain't no more FBG Duck. You know, been there. All you do should be like, been there, done that. You ain't seen that. You know, FBG stand for Flyboy Gang. You know, so he gone. You know, he flew away back to the spirit world. So now he know he an Israelite, man. So Lord willing, this has been edifying. I'm gonna give all honor, praise, and glory to Yahweh Basham Yahushua, Wahakadash Shalom.